Hey guys, I'm back. So I'm gonna continue reading about the Hadean Eon. Okay, so last time I showed this image right here. This is the Hadean fragments from 4 billion years ago, and they are measured from they are measured from more than 100 micrometers. Yeah, they're very small. Part part of the ancient planet is theorized to have disrupted by the impact that created the moon. That was my Alexa. Which was Dea. Hold on. So also part of the ancient is theorized to have been disrupted by impact that created the moon, which have caused the melting of one or two large regions of Earth. Earth's presence Earth present composition suggests that there was not complete remelting, as it is difficult to completely melt and mix huge rocks masses. Hold on. However, a fair fraction of material should have been vaporized by this impact. The material would have condensed within 2,000 years. The initial magma ocean solidified within 5 million years, leaving behind a hot volatiles which probably resulted in a heavy carbon dioxide atmosphere with hydrogen and water vapor. The initial heavy atmosphere had a surface temperature of 230 degrees Celsius or 446 degrees Fahrenheit, and an atmospheric pressure of above 27 standard atmospheres. So that means the pressure was the 27 bar, which is heavy. Studies of zircons have found that liquid water may have existed between 4 billion and 4.4 billion years. Very soon, very soon after the formation of Earth, liquid water oceans existed despite the high surface temperature because at an atmospheric pressure of 27 atmospheres, water remains liquid even at those high temperatures. The most likely source of water in the Hadean Eon, the most the most likely the most likely source of water in the Hadean Ocean was outgassing from the Earth's mantle bombardment. I did heard of late heavy bombardment. Origin of a substantial amount of water is unlikely due to the incompatibility of isotope fractions between the Earth and comets. Asteroid impacts during the Hadean Eon, during the Hadean, and into the Archean, which have periodically disrupted the ocean. The geological record from 3.2 billion years ago contains evidence of multiple impacts and of objects up to 100 kilometers or 62 miles in diameter. Each such impact would have boiled off up to 100 meters or 330 feet of a global ocean. The temporarily raised the atmospheric temperature to 500 degrees Celsius or 932 degrees Fahrenheit. However, the frequency of meteor impacts is still under study. The Earth may have gone through long periods when oceans, and life were possible. The liquid water would absorb the carbon dioxide in the early atmosphere. This would not be enough by itself to sustain the reduced amount of CO2. Okay, next is plate tectonics. Yeah, a 2008 study of zircons found that Australian Hadean rock contains minerals pointing to the existence of plate tectonics as early as 4 galactic years. Also, one gal- also the sun orbits at the center of the galaxy, which takes about 220 million Earth years. By the time it will complete its orbit, Earth would have formed Pangea Proxima. And let's continue. But existence later takes approximately 600 million years after Earth's formation. So that was 3.9 billion years ago. However, some geologists suggest that the zircons could have been formed by meteor impact. Sorry. The direct evidence of Hadean geology from zircons is limited because the zircons are largely gathered in one locality in Australia. Geophysical models are unconstrained, but can paint a general picture of the state of Earth in the Hadean. Mental convection in the Hadean was likely vigorous due to lower viscosity. The lower viscosity was due to the high levels of radiogenic heat and the fact that water in the mantle had not yet fully outgassed. Whether the vigorous convection led to plate tectonics in the Hadean or was confined under a ridged lid is still a matter of debate. The presence of Hadean oceans is thought to have triggered plate tectonics. Subduction due to plate tectonics would have removed carbon from the early oceans, contributing to the removal of CO2-rich early atmosphere. Removal of this early atmosphere is evidence of Hadean plate tectonics. If plate tectonics occurred in the Hadean, it would have formed continental crust. But it did occur about 4.2. It did occur about 4.3 billion years ago. Different models predict different amounts of continental crust during the Hadean. The work of Dimu et al. Predicts that by the end of the Hadean, the continental crust had only 25% of today's area. The models of Cohen-Nega et al. Predict that the continental crust grew to the present form sometime between 4.2 and 4 billion years ago. Just one more. Only two more. Continents. The amount of exposed land in the Hadean is only loosely dependent on the amount of continental crust. It also depends on the ocean level in models where plate tectonics started in the Archean and Earth. Earth has a global ocean in the Hadean. The high heat of the mantle may have made it difficult to support high elevations in the Hadean. If continents did form in the Hadean, the growth competed with outgassing and water from the mantle. Continents may have appeared in the mid-Hadean and then disappeared under a thick ocean by the end of the Hadean. The limited amount of land has implications for the origin of life, possible life. The abundant Hadean, like geothermal micron environments, which was shown by Saudit et al. to have the potential to support the synthesis of replication of RNA and thus possibly the evolution of primitive life form. Porous rock, porous system comprising heated air, water, and interfaces were shown to allow ribozyme catalyze RNA replication of sense and antisense strands, followed by subsequent strand dislocation, thus enabling combined synthesis, release and folding of active ribozymes. A study published in 2024 in Field, the last common ancestor of all current life to have emerged during the Hadean, between 4.09 and 4.3 billion years. Although the early part of the late heavy bombardment happened during the Hadean, the impacts were frequent only on a cosmic scale, with thousands or even millions of years between each event. As Earth had already had oceans, life would have been possible, but vulnerable to extinction levels because caused by those impacts. The risk then the Chicxulub impactor that caused the extinction of dinosaurs, an impact big enough to may erase an impactor big enough may erase all life on the planet. Although some models suggest that microscopic life may still survive if underground or in the oceanic depths. Okay, I'm gonna read about the Archean Eon, the second eon of Earth's history, which measured from 4 billion years ago to 2.5 billion years ago. Okay. I'll see you. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the Archean video. Bye, guys.